Welcome to another episode of How I Got the Shot. Today we're going to be using the new Celestial and talking about lighting for your look. So this episode is going to be a little bit different than normal in that it's not a strict breakdown of a lighting setup, but rather about the thought process about what you're trying to get out of your lighting. So we're going to walk through this shoot together. So when planning your shoot, you need to think about what you want your primary focus to be. So if you're shooting on location, are you trying to enhance the location or are you trying to enhance the person with the location? For fashion, everything is about enhancing the look. We had wanted to put together a makeup-centric fashion shoot for quite some time, and we had been browsing around online and we found a lot of cool samples of this kind of bold tier style makeup. We settled on a gold and black color scheme. We thought it was pretty bold and the contrast between the two would be pretty intense. So we took our ideas and we jumped into Set.a.light 3D and started playing around with some lighting setups for a couple of weeks before our final shoot. Set.a.light 3D is a pre-visualization tool by a company called Elixir. And what it allows you to do is create lights and poses in a 3D space and kind of move them around and get an idea of what you're going for before you actually step into the studio. This is a great tool whether you're just stepping into the studio for the first time or you're a seasoned professional, because it really allows you to get an in-depth idea of what you're trying to do, how different lights work, without actually having to be present in the studio and moving things around. For this shoot, the makeup is the main thing that we want to focus on. So we're going to be sticking with a lot of tight framing to really enhance the look of the makeup. And that means that we don't have to necessarily worry as much about how we're lighting our background. One of the things that's going to be consistent throughout the shoot is that we're going to be wanting to do a lot of backlighting for our subject to kind of look like warm sunlight. So for our key light, we're going to use a 35-inch octabox with a grid on the outside. That way we can kind of narrow our spread of light. And to create that warm sunlight look from the back, we're going to use a 51-inch silver interior PLM with no diffusion fabric, just the modifier itself, and one of our color correcting gel domes to give it that warm look. So with careful placement, we can actually swap out our modifiers and yield a very similar look, but with different results. Now, I didn't like the way the PLM was backlighting our model in this shot, so I swapped out our PLM for one of our smaller strip boxes, turned it horizontally and put it up a little bit higher. So that gave me some more control over our backlight while still yielding that same look that we were going for. So we're going to take our 35-inch octabox and we're going to swap it for a 7-inch reflector. And what this will do is give us a considerably more hard sunlight look and more specular highlights. And given the reflective nature of the makeup, it should yield some pretty striking results. Moving on to a 3-light setup, we're going to break down everything and we're going to change it out completely, but we're still going to achieve a look that feels very much at home with what we've already done. So our key light is going to be swapped out for that small strip box. And that's going to give us different kinds of shadows on the face, but it's also going to give us a bold and unusual catch light in our model's eye. Now for our backlighting, we're using 2 Celestials this time, each with our larger strip boxes, and this will give us even further control over our backlighting, but still maintain that warm sun at my back look. For our final setup with this look, we're going to keep our backlights exactly how they are with those large strip boxes, but we're going to swap out our key light to go back to that 35-inch gridded octabox. Now, we're going to try and set this shot up pretty specifically, because after we're done with this, we're going to move on to our next makeup look, and we're going to keep everything exactly the same so that we can create kind of a Harvey Two-Face composite using both makeup looks. So now we're going to move on to an inverse look. So our jacket is going to be swapped out with something a little bit more of a gold tone, and our eye makeup is going to be switched for very bold black tiers. So for our final setup, we're going to keep everything almost identical to how we had it with our previous, except we're going to drop one of those large strip boxes and we're going to put a 7-inch reflector with a warm color correcting gel dome, and we're going to hit our backdrop with that. And so by playing with light on our backdrop, it's going to allow us to really change up the tone a bit. Since we've kept everything simple, we're only using a roll of gray seamless, the color and tone of our background are going to be entirely set by our lights and shadows and how they interact with it. At the end of this shoot, we've effectively created a tone that is present across all looks and all images, while still showcasing each individual look and pose. We hope that this has been a great dive into how we light for the look. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please like, comment, and subscribe for more content.